Hello, welcome to Therapist Marketing Tips, where I offer practical guidance and tutorials to help you build, grow, and market your private therapy practice. My name is Chris, and I'd like to welcome you back to my video series on how to sell your mental health and well-being courses via the e-commerce platform Shopify. So far in this series, I've shown you how to set up your Shopify account, how to create and upload your online courses, and how to select a theme for your online course store. In the last video, I also showed you how to use the Shopify web editor to customize your store and make it more on brand with your own content, with your own images, text, and so on. In today's video, we're going to look a little bit at the theme settings, which give you even more customization options and allow you to fine-tune every little detail of the store to get it exactly the way that you want it. So to do that, we're going to go over here to access the settings menu, which is this little gear icon here, and we just tap that. And as you can see, it brings up a whole host of different settings that we can configure. Now, personally, I'm not going to change a lot of these settings. I'm going to keep a lot of it as it is, but I will show you most of these settings so that you can get an idea of what is possible. To begin, one of the most important settings we need to change is the logo. As you can see, we've just got the name of the store for now, and it looks a little bland and a little generic. So we're going to click the logo drop down, and here you'll see that we now have two options. So we can upload our main logo, which will eventually go here, and we can also upload the favicon image, which is this little icon here that you probably recognize from just about any website you visit. So in this case, it's, the Shopify logo. You might recognize the little red play button from YouTube, etc. So we're going to upload both. Now here we do have the option to use the free Shopify image library, but it's much better to upload an actual logo that represents our private practice. So if you already have a website or business cards, etc., you probably already have a logo for your practice. So you can just click select image, click the add images button here and upload it to your media library. I'm going to use one that I've just uploaded a few minutes ago. So here's a logo. And we just simply, you notice I just click the image, click done, give it a few seconds to refresh, and there it is. And then it shows up there. Now, if you wanted to, you could also change the width of your logo, but this might affect like the pixelation. It might not make it look quite as good. So I'm just going to put that back. Again, the favicon image, which is this one here, same process, select image, and we can just select it like that. And when the store goes live, this will replace the Shopify logo there. If you wanted to change any aspects, so you can click this change button here, and you can select one from your library, remove it, etc. Beyond the logo, you also have the option to customize the color schemes. So you could select, say, scheme 1 and then change different elements by clicking on these circular icons here. So if I did that, we can change, you'll notice how the header there changes to black or to red, etc. But I quite like the white. You can also click add scheme to just create a brand new color scheme all of your own. Again, I'm quite happy with the color scheme of my website, so I'm just going to keep that as is, but I just wanted to point out that this is there if you want it. Beyond colors, we also have typography settings. Typography is obviously the fonts that you use for your text. And here you'll see that you have multiple options. So we have headings and body text. So just for reference, like this is a heading here, and this would be your body text there. And if you're not happy with the fonts as they are, you can just click click change, and you can use any of these fonts that are available. And there's a whole bunch to choose from. Again, I'm quite happy with the fonts as they are, so I'm just going to keep that there. I'm going to keep the same font scale size. But if you wanted to change them, go ahead and make it look as good as you want. Layout options is one that I really don't recommend that you mess with, just because these websites are laid out with, to be responsive, to work well on mobiles and tablets and desktops and all different kinds of devices. So unless you really know what you're doing with this, I recommend leaving the layout settings alone so that you don't affect the usability of the site on different devices. If the layout changes, it could affect, the way that customers find different content elements and are able to access and purchase courses, and making it harder to use, basically. So I'm going to recommend that we leave the layout section alone and take a quick look at animations. So here you'll see by default, this says reveal sections on scroll. And to show you this, I'm going to have to deselect it first. So if I deselect that, you'll notice that when I scroll down the page, everything is just automatically loaded. Nothing really interesting happens. But then if I go back to having this highlighted, you'll see if I do this slowly enough that the content elements kind of come into view as we go down the screen. So you'll see those there with just like hovering up, and that's hovering up there. The buttons, you'll see everything hovering into place. And we can also apply different hover effects to cards and buttons. So here's our product cards. And if I do like a vertical lift, they'll come in like that. If I do a 3D lift, they'll come in like that. But I'm just going to leave that alone. And I quite like this the way it is. We can also change the thickness, the opacity, the corner radius, shadows, and other design elements of buttons like these add to cart buttons here, and this browse our latest our latest courses button here. But again, I don't really see much of a reason to want to change these, and it could also affect the usability. So I'm going to keep the buttons as they are as well. Variant pills and inputs we don't need. We especially don't need the variants because since we're selling online courses, it's unlikely that we're going to have variants of different courses. We might as well just sell a different course, right? We can look at product cards, which are these things here, and we can arrange, where the text goes and different options there. But again, I'm going to leave that alone. And we can change the color scheme. We can change the design of these. Collection cards we haven't used. We're just using the product cards for now. But collection cards are, say you had 5 different courses about anxiety, you might bundle those into a collection called anxiety courses, and you could display those here, and you just edit those options. Likewise with blog cards. Containers, again, we've just got basic customization options. Same with media. Same with drop downs. Same with drawers. And then we have badges. So you could add, badges here if you were running a sale, if you wanted to add something specific to that. Brand information adds a brand description to your store's footer. Social media, if you wanted to add links to your social media site anywhere on this page, here is where you would customize the URLs. So instead of Facebook/Shopify, it would be facebook.com/therapy. Likewise with Instagram, etc. And you would add these in using the main theme, the main website editor. Search behavior is an interesting one. So we can enable search suggestions. So I'm not sure if I can show you this on the preview, but if I click the search icon and I start to type anxiety, it suggests managing anxiety. If I type in mind, it automatically suggests mindfulness. And this is a feature that you might be familiar with from the auto-complete feature on Google. It's a very handy feature to have because it automatically brings up product suggestions, saves customers time, helps them to get right to the courses that they want to access. Show product vendor isn't really relevant for what we're doing because we're creating our own courses. We don't really have vendors unless for some reason you're selling courses from other creators. And when this is enabled, we could also have it to show the product price. So if I do this without, you'll notice that's how it appears now when we search for mindfulness. But if I click show product price and then search again, you'll see it now displays the price, which at this rate is $75, marked down to $47. Moving on, we have the currency format. So since I'm using US dollars, it says cart and checkout prices always show currency codes. Example, $1. If we turn that off, then on the cart, it would display something completely different. Here we can customize we can customize the cart type. So I have it set as a pop-up notification, which would mean that when I click add to cart and go to the checkout process, it would be done as a pop-up on the main screen, where I could also choose to have it as a drawer or as a separate page that just links through. But I quite like the idea of the pop-up, so we're going to keep that as it is. Again, we don't really need the show vendor part, and we can add a cart note if we want to, but I don't really need to right now. You can change the color scheme. Likewise, you can customize the checkout process by adding a unique background image, by adding your logo, and changing the color option and the form fields. And here we have a set of different colors that we can use. Finally, custom CSS is if you're pretty good with code and none of these options quite give you what you want, you can create your own custom CSS code and add it in here to further fine-tune and tweak your options. So that's about it. That's a look at all the theme settings in Shopify. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope it has enabled you to further tweak and customize your online store to your liking. We are almost at the end of this video series now. In the next video, I'm going to start showing you how to add the finishing touches by customizing your store details, adding payment methods. And then in the final video, we will connect a domain name and publish the store live on the internet. Thank you so much for watching. For more tips, guidance, and tutorials on how to build, grow, and market your therapy practice, please do check out therapistmarketingtips.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.